Hello and welcome to Money Pile Monday, where I am slowly trying to turn my duck pile into dollars by actually getting it listed. I have mostly books today, so if you're not into that, have a nice day. I'll catch you in the next video. But if you are one of my book friends, here we go. The first thing is actually not a book, just because of the fact that for the last, well, all of the Fix It Friday videos, you guys have seen this pot sitting on my dining room table, and I just have this mental block about listing it, and I finally am just like, today's the day, I'm getting it listed. And so this is a Echo Flint, EKCO Flint, 4.5 quart stock pot. It is stainless steel. The Echo Flint series is a mid-century. This is a mid-century item. These were made in the 50s, so this is a mid-century style pot. I finally got this one listed. I don't know why the stock pot took so long to get listed. I got all the other smaller pots I'd found at separate estate sales listed, but for some odd reason that one, I just couldn't get it to happen. So everything else is books, and I've mentioned before how much I like saving books, so not a whole lot of these books sell for a lot of money. But I'm getting them for really cheap at the bins, and I'm saving them from going in the trash, and again, I can do a little bit for the environment while also turning a profit. So I've discussed before how vintage children's books can be valuable, especially ones that don't actually have any marks in them. Children can be very difficult on their books, as in they completely decimate them with crayons and or chewing and or ripping them apart. Because children's got children. So I have 3 separate ones here. I have a 1995 copy of the Mickey Mouse Club, complete with, look at those illustrations. And I picked this up because this was very nostalgic. We did not have the Disney Channel when I was a child. The only time we got Disney Channel was when it was like that 1 week free that you got to preview it in your cable package. I think it was like 1 week in the summer and 1 week in the winter is when you got to do that, and that's the only time we got to watch the Disney Channel for a very long time. But I picked that up because it was nostalgic, and it actually has no marks in it, which is great. I also picked up this copy of Cinderella. That is actually a mark on her face, even though it just kind of looks like soot and goes with the book. This is a little Rand McNally Junior Elf book. These are other Junior Elf books. This is from 1960s. It has some bloom on here, and the pages are very tanned, but this is just very cute, and I picked that up as well. And then this is from 1963, this little zebra book. This is Teletales by, I think it's Whitman. And this also has some cute little color illustrations in it. And yeah, this also has no marks. So all 3 of these I picked up because they're cute little mid-century books, except for, of course, the Mickey Mouse. That was nostalgia. And they have no coloring in them or names or anything like that. So I picked all of those up. I've also shown and picked up a couple of field guides as well, and sold those. I have 2 here. This is Rocky Mountain Flora. This is from the 70s. This is like new condition. I don't think anybody used this. This is from the Colorado University Press, and this is pretty rare to find because this is a very limited print run that they did this in. I mean, you can find this book on eBay, but there are not that many of these in circulations. I don't think they've done a reprint. Also, this is Birds of Virginia. I live in Virginia, and this has a lot of, this is a field guide, so this has a lot of really great pictures, like the different male and female versions of birds, and it's put in birds that are mostly black and white, birds that are mostly blue, birds that are mostly gray. So it's a great field guide, so you can be out in the wild and be like, oh, I just saw a green bird, and then you can go flip to the green section, which is actually color coded in green, and have different birds. I thought this was very cute. This is from 1958. This is the Happy Hollisters. This is the first in the series, so this is like a mystery type of book, just like Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys, except this was started in the 50s instead of, you know, I think Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys started in the 40s, I think. Hey, Editing Bob here, just to let you know that the Hardy Boys was initially published in 1927 and Nancy Drew
followed closely after in 1930. So I probably won't get that wrong again, but I was very wrong in this instance. But now we both know, so yay.
So this is a decade later. This is from 1958, and the reason I know that is because of the back, where the fourth book in the series was initially published in 1958. So even though this says it's copyright 1953 because of the back, this is the 1958 version of this book, and this is a permabound. So this did not come with a dust jacket. Permabound editions normally went to libraries because they are very sturdy and they have the full color illustration on the book instead of having a dust jacket that could get lost and ripped. I like permabound books. I think they're beautiful, and again, they're really durable, so they're great for at-home libraries as well. This is a 1927 edition of We, which is by Charles Lindbergh. Yes, that Charles Lindbergh, the Aviator. This is the 16th impression of this. I'm not 100% sure. 12th impression. I was close. So this was in August 1927. So I found this in the bins as well, and that is now up for sale. It is not in great shape, but the binding's still in decent condition. The cover is just kind of it's got some schmutz on it that I am not going to try cleaning off because I do not want to damage the book since it is almost 100 years old. This is a Canterbury Classic. I talked about it in my How to Be Successful Selling books off of Amazon. Canterbury Classics is one of the leather-bound publishers that I discussed being valuable. This is not one of the more valuable. This is a very common edition from Canterbury. This is the U.S. Constitution and other writings. This also has a little bit of wear here on the front, but it has the current American flag and then the continental American flag. Also talked about how I like picking up journals at the bins for resale. These are brand new and cottagecore is still a thing. So Treasury of Country Cottages, address book and journal. These are brand new. They do have, there's a little bit of a nick on the folio. So if you did not know, this box is a folio, and these are the books that go inside the folio. So if you put folio in the title, that helps. And yeah, so both of these are blank, and I put that up for sale. These were two gifts given to me by my friend Donna to resell. I actually already sold 1 through 3. This is a series by Michael Sullivan. The Age of series by Michael Sullivan. I sold 1 through 3 on Whatnot a while ago, and I did not sell these with it because these are 2 hardcovers that are actually signed by Michael Sullivan, so I put them up separately. I have Age of Death and Age of Legend. They are signed, but they do not have their dust jackets, so has a bonus and then a detraction. So we'll see what happens with these. In addition, I have these. These are new. I think I've shown them on my channel before, and I put them up in a Whatnot auction and they didn't sell, so now I'm just listing them on eBay. So this is 2001 A Space Odyssey by Arthur C. Clarke. It's brand new. And Captain Outrageous, which is a TSR publication, which does Dragonlance and the Forgotten Realms series. And yeah, so both of those are brand new and they are now listed. This is Catch Me If You Can, a vintage 80s publication. And I mean, most copies of Catch Me If You Can, if you find them now, have the Leonardo DiCaprio cover on it. So this is just a nice vintage copy. It's got, you know, that dude's got some great 80s hair right there. So I picked that up because, again, paperbacks are only 25 cents. And this is a naughty book. I don't know how much YouTube will allow me to have on that. I mean, she's covered with herself, but she is clearly not dressed. So this is The Pearl, which is a Victorian publication of erotic stories. It was a magazine in the Victorian era that published erotic stories, and this is the entire volume set of those stories. And this is from 1969. Nice. So there's that. I also picked up a Haynes 1992 to 1995 Corolla manual. Hello again. I realized the book says Camry, and I used to have a Toyota Corolla, so whenever I think of Toyota, Corolla automatically comes out of my mouth.
and I'm still recovering from allergies and being very sick from being very worn down. So my brain fog's really bad, and that is how come I keep having to say hi to you guys in this video, and then also make little adjustments in the editing. So thank you guys for bearing with me, and I'll give you back again. Hopefully I don't see you again for the rest of the video.
These vintage car manuals can go for good money. Not really this one. This one is just kind of eh, but I paid 25 cents for this at the bins, so if it sells for more than that, that's great. This one looks different than the other one. Is because the Toyota Camry this year went from 1992 to 1996, or this model went from 1992 to 1996, and this was like printed before that model came out, because this is the 1995 copy. So it's kind of a neat little snapshot with some like dudes in their 90s outfits working on the car. But if you get like nicer cars, or I guess muscle cars, those ones can normally go for more money because people are trying to restore them. I'm not sure how many people are trying to restore their 1992 Camrys, but you know what, people might just be trying to keep them running, because cars from those years did really well, as in, you know, they have hundreds of thousands of miles on them and they're still running. This is a cookbook. I've talked about how much I like selling vintage cookbooks. I might actually do a thrifty treat on this one, just because bread and cake is delicious. So this is Easiest and Best Coffee Cakes and Quick Breads by Rennie Darling. This is actually really cute. It has a bunch of substitutions in the beginning, like if you don't have this, you can use this. Like if you don't have sour cream, you could use yogurt. If you don't have eggs, you could use applesauce, that kind of stuff. And it's got like really cute illustrations around the border. I mean, you could almost use this as an adult coloring book as well. I mean, it's not an adult coloring book, but I just think like you could, and that would be cute. Okay, I'm looking at this and now I'm hungry. So yes, if I still have this and I actually get enough energy, I'm going to make this. Also, thank you guys so much for the just plethora of lovely messages from my last video. I am doing better. My fever broke on Sunday. And since my fever broke on Sunday, I had a really rough night that night. But since then, I've actually been able to sleep, and I've been pretty much just resting and not doing anything most of today and like the last couple of days. I know this video is coming out late because I listed this stuff while I was struggling on Monday, but I'm filming the video afterwards because I feel better and I can actually be on camera and not look like I'm dying. So yeah, thank you for the lovely messages. I'm feeling better. It was just, I was going through it and I tried to power through it and it was not happening. So I'm doing better now. This is a 1985 copy of a Transformers picture book, and these have amazing graphics. Like, look at these colors. These are so freaking vibrant. This originally cost $4 at Kmart in 1985. Look at that. That's just amazing. I love this. This is awesome. This is something else I paid like 50 cents for at the bins. And then, so I have a $1 investment into these. These are from 1969. These are the Time Life Library of Art, and I have Van Gogh and Matisse, I think. Yeah, Matisse. And I'm just selling them together. It just has information about their life and their process, and a couple of examples of their work as well. So I'm selling these together. And I basically got rid of an entire banker's box of books that I've had in my duff pile in this video. Plus, now I have one less thing on my dining room table that has been there forever. I didn't quite get the canisters listed. My executive dysfunction would only allow one item to come off of that table. So maybe by the end of the year that table will be cleared off. But thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you guys got some listing done while you were watching this video. Again, I am feeling better. Thank you for the well wishes, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye. Bye.
Hero, hero. Hero, hero. I wanna be a hero, hero. Oh, the hero.